ladies and gentlemen, on a mission from God.
There you go. There you go. That sounds good.
That sounds original. That's what that sounds like.
That's exactly what it sounds like. No one's ever said that before.
It's the Divine Brothers. Are you ready for this, man?
Let's do it.
We got some more topics we came up with.
We're going to stick with that format for now.
I mean, we did get some criticism from, the people we love in life. But you know what? Whether it's ass cracks or talking about, the range of a proper booty, I do think that our perspective is appreciated.
Or epic pee and poop stories.
Oh, man. That was my favorite part.
Yeah, I know it was.
I thought that was great.
Yeah, I thought that was fun. So if you didn't like it, oh well.
Let's dive back into it, man. Okay. Oh, let me turn to the right page where we hastily wrote these down. Okay, number 1. What makes a great couch? Okay. Subtitle, shitty Asian furniture.
Okay, but even beyond the Asian furniture, I'd say Europe. Anywhere in the world, nobody has ever done a couch like an American couch. An American couch is an extension of the bed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you go to buy an American, when I go to buy a couch, you don't just sit on it. You jump on it. You lay on it. You spread out. You're like, all right, can I work here? Can I sleep here? Can I be sick here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want to sleep next to whoever you're sleeping next to. You always go to the couch.
Let me tell you, man, like the biggest mistake with couches. Width. Like the width of the couch.
Yes.
Like they're too narrow. You want space. You want something wide that you can lay out on.
They don't think it's practical.
Well, see, okay, in Asia, like there's a firm belief that furniture should be aesthetically pleasing. It's like a little work of art. You know what I'm saying? So like
It's fucking stupid.
Modern and stiff, and like people look at it and they go, "Oh, they must have money." In America,
that's exactly what I think.
We are proud, fat, lazy people. And you know what? Our furniture reflects that. And, like they always like, oh, Americans are so fat and gluttonous. Let me tell you, fatness and gluttony can achieve some great things, all right? And one of them is an amazing couch, all right? Big, wide, comfy, like comfortable cushions. I'm not a fan of the leather couch. I like the coat, like a really nice cloth.
Yeah.
Some softness to it.
Yeah, man.
Oh, dude, that's some next level stuff right there. Yeah. You got to have that cushiony feel that just draws you in. It got to the point with some couches that I prefer to sleep on the couch than the bed.
Hey, when I used to go home to see Mom, bring my little suitcase in. She's like, oh, take it upstairs. I'm like, no, I'm in my room. I'm home, man. I'd sleep on the couch the entire week I was there. Because it was that comfortable.
It's so interesting because, so our mom, she's so hit or miss on some things. Like, when it comes to, aesthetics, there's some decisions that she makes because, she's, loves to decorate and renovate and all that sort of stuff. And there's some things she does where I'm like, just no, I would never make that decision. Yeah. But sometimes she nails it.
Yep.
And one of those occasions was a couch. She bought these couches. She still has them. And she's kept these couches for years. She's even reupholstered them because they're perfect. Perfect. Super wide. She double stuffed them, so it's just super cozy.
Dude, this is great memories. I remember when she brought that couch home, and I was like, Mom, I don't know if we can sit on this. It's almost like you have to lay on it. And then I was like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
And once you lay on that couch, you just become a part of that couch.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. It feels Hawaiian, doesn't it?
Even more important than that, the couch is an underappreciated piece of furniture. I would argue it's the most important piece of furniture in the house.
What did that couch look like? Was it red and white?
It used to be. It used to be red, then she reupholstered it, and it's like a golden, super soft Chanel sort of feeling thing, But you forget how essential a couch is. That's the hangout spot. That's the life of a house.
It is a massive decision. Absolutely. I might even say it's more important than the bed. It's right there.
See, the thing about the bed is the bed's all about the mattress.
Yes.
Yeah. But the couch, that's everything. It's a look. It's a feel. It's a test. You got to test it out, I know if we went couch shopping, we'd spend probably weeks. Just finding the right one. Go to every single store all over Craigslist. Just trying to find the
Chase,
one.
what you doing? Still looking for that couch, man. Still looking for that couch.
But we'll know.
Oh, yeah.
When we find it, we will know. Like, it'll speak to us.
Doesn't that speak volumes about us? How important a couch is to us.
We are inactive.
We
men.
are fucking sitting on couches a lot.
Inactive men.
Spend a lot of
Chase.
time on couches.
Let me tell you, man, this is why I love Lao Tzu. He's always talking about action without action. I always imagine Lao Tzu
Fits your
sitting
lifestyle.
on. If he was in the 21st century, he wouldn't be meditating on a rock. He'd be meditating on an American couch.
Yeah.
That's what it would be, man.
Yeah.
I got powerful feelings about this.
I love couches.
Oh, that's the way to
I
go.
love fucking couches, man.
Ready for the next one?
Kind of. I just want to say that I love couches.
I know, right? That was a real, like, we really had something to say
Just
on
really
this
want
one.
to reiterate that. It's such a great topic.
So this is one that you felt very passionately about, too. The importance of naps, the siesta, dreaming during naps.
I've never really incorporated naps into my life, ever. And
God, we're talking about couches and naps.
well, yeah, these are important things, man.
Yeah,
People need to know this shit.
Yeah.
Just big city life, maybe something like out here, moving to Hawaii and getting transitioned. There have been the opportunities for naps. And the buddy I was staying with was like, why don't you just take a nap? I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe I'll take a nap, man. Little hour power nap, even if it's just like an hour or less. Something to just lay down a little bit in the afternoon, it recharges you, man. It's almost like your batteries need to be plugged in for a little bit just to get enough juice to keep going, man. Yeah.
So when you say like a nap, do you mean just like you close your eyes and you're out for an hour?
So but I wanted to say that Hawaii, there's something about taking a nap here because the weather's always kind of perfect. You could take a nap anywhere, you know? Take a nap outside.
If I had a hammock. Yeah.
It just makes it so much easier when it's just like this pace.
I think a hammock, I could do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Couches, naps, and we combine the two and create a hammock.
Well, you know, I mean, see, I wonder if somebody's made a couch hammock, you know?
What do you mean?
Like a hammock, but really cushioned, you know? Like, it would have to be, I don't know, it would require a lot of engineering, that one, you know?
That would, yeah. I could see it, though. I could see it. A luxury hammock?
Yeah, luxury
hammock for comfort.
Yeah.
Comfort of luxury. That's it.
See, my thing is, like, I've never really achieved the nap, you know? Like, I either go way too long. Oh, basically, the closest I can have is maybe a midday post-jerk-off nap, you know? Like, you know, like
I know
if
where
you
you're
have
at.
one of those days and you're just like, fuck it, I got nothing to do, and you whack one off, and then you're just, you know, and then that's like a 30-minute like rest, not a true sleep, you know. So when you're taking these naps, is it a true sleep with dreams and, you know, all that sort of stuff, or is it just kind of like you're just kind of half there, you know, just relaxing?
It's relaxing.
So you're not fully asleep.
Not like at night. Sometimes you can get there, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a different. I don't think that it's not as deep REM sleep. I don't know.
You know,
I doubt that.
Leonardo da Vinci did he trained himself to just do naps. So he would do like 3 hours on, 1 hour nap, 3 hours on, 1 hour nap.
Really?
And so he just like trained himself. That's how he lived. He's like, it's more efficient that way, you know? And, you know, you wonder, like, maybe that is a better way, you know?
You know, every single time I'm looking at a buddy's dog or cat, just watching their patterns of just sleep whenever you feel like it.
Yeah.
They seem to be doing just fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe. I mean, but they say cats are nocturnal, you know? Like,
yeah.
So maybe that's why they're sleeping during the day all the time.
But I remember Jack sleeping at night, too. Both. Cat will get up any time of the day. I think they just sleep a couple hours. And
I think cats sleep a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's like something like 70% of their life is like sleeping.
That's incredible.
Yeah, right? I think dogs are the same, too. Like, just a lot of sleep, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they roll, man. But I guess I'll have to try to incorporate naps in my life a little bit more. Next one?
Yeah, sure.
Moving and grooving, baby. Oh, this is one. Engineers as people. Let me tell you, man. I've lived with some engineers. Engineers are a different sort of animal.
Yeah.
Like, they don't quite function normally, you know? So, like, you know, I'm sure lots of people know engineers. They're all over the place. But personality-wise, they're not quite human.
Yeah, it just never developed. It just never got started.
Yeah.
You know, they're monotoned. They don't, the best they can do is like a little bit of sarcasm.
Well, it's that classic Jordan Peterson thing where they prefer things over people. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that really does sum it up, doesn't
Pretty
it?
much, you know? Yeah. I mean, it does. Like, I had a buddy I was staying with in Alabama, and he was a software engineer.
Yeah.
And, man, he was just maybe the smartest dude I've ever known, like, terrifyingly smart. Like, where I would say shit, and he would just always outsmart me. And I remember I was pretty intimidated by him, you know, just because, like, he was smart. But he was so socially awkward that I would always, like, feel like that superiority when talking. Because I was like, oh, thank God, at least I can be normal. Like, at least he's fucking up the social situations, you know, and stuff like that.
Well, that's the trade-off, you know? If you're going to be brilliant, we got to make you a little awkward socially.
Yeah, pretty much, you know. I mean, but I guess that's how it goes, you know? I mean, and, like, don't get me wrong. He's a very successful guy and everything like that, and very happily well off and all that sort of stuff. But it was definitely one of those things where you could tell that the way he cognitively processed the world affected everything. Relationships, it affected, like, what he was thinking about, how he approached everything. Everything was a formula. Everything was,
that's the deeper roots of an engineer right there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're really looking in depth at it. You know, a funny thing that I remembered about engineers, because I grew up in a NASA city that was
Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember moving there, Dean, from Texas. So I was like 12 or 13 or something like that. But
yeah.
I remember playing sports in Texas and playing sports in that city. I remember the kids of engineers. I was like, they're not that good. You know, I was like, is there another league? And they're like, no, this is the best league. I'm like, you could tell.
I didn't realize that.
But you don't think about it at the time. I just remember, like, I guess I'm the best player.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
So you weren't always the best player.
I didn't like it. Like
back in Dallas.
You know why Texas was funner? It's because you weren't the best one. You were just trying your fucking hardest to keep up with these other kids.
Really?
That was fun.
So when you were, like, in elementary school, it was like you were
weren't
the best.
I play soccer in Texas. You go play the Mexican team. They beat the shit out of you.
Really, the Mexican team?
They kick the shit out of you, man.
Well, I guess they love soccer.
Well, and then sometimes you get a little close. It's like 4-1 or 3-1.
Oh, yeah.
Like, but it's challenging. You're like, fuck, let's try to beat them, man. You know, like, didn't get that in Alabama. In Huntsville, Alabama, yeah.
Do you remember kids soccer? Like back when you used to play soccer and stuff?
Vaguely, probably not as much as I should.
I remember you going around talking about, like, your team name and stuff. You were like, we're called, like, I don't know, like the Bullets or something like that. Like the most, like, boy name ever. Like, we're called the Bullets, man.
Superboy.
Yeah, the Superboy.
Superboy.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Pee Wee soccer that's like the first introduction kids have to team sports, you know?
Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah. I hated it. Like, they always had to force me to go to practice. I always thought it was just, they just signed me up. They didn't ask me. They're like, you're doing Pee Wee soccer. I'm, what? No, I don't want to do it, you know? And they would just drop. I guess it was an excuse just to get rid of me.
That would suck if you hated sports and you had to play.
Oh, I hated it.
Yeah.
Hated it.
And then it kind of ruins sports for you. Because there's some cool parts to sports, but you have to choose to go into it.
I remember
you can't be forced.
I remember once I was always on the worst team too. Always.
Well,
you know?
That's not a mistake. You always put the worst player
I guess
on the worst
so.
team.
But anyways, like, so I remember one time, I must have been like, I don't know, 4th grade, 3rd grade, something like that. And anyways, like, the worst team, were going against the best team from the year below us. And the coach of the team below us, he put little cones in the goal, like where there was only a little space in the corners. And he's like, the goals only count if my kids score right in the corners. And they still kicked our ass. Like, kicked our ass.
It sucks, man.
Oh, man. I remember just being, I was also of the opinion, like, I liked playing midfield because I would just kick the ball in the general direction of the other team. I would never pass it, just like, as hard as I could, and then just sit there and, like, pick at the grass and just be like, when is this over?
That was Dean's sports experience?
It was awful.
But, dude, it's fun when you win. Like, 8th grade year in middle school, they take all the best football players, and you're the captains of the team, and you have to pick.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And nobody picked Scuba Steve. Everybody overlooked him. This guy we grew up with, this cat is just like, laid back, good old boy, country boy. He's never played a fucking sport in his life, but he's a fucking phenomenal athlete.
Yeah.
nobody would expect it.
Yeah.
Nobody picked Steve. Me and Steve, we beat the shit out of everybody. Any sport we played, we won.
Do you think you could be a recruiter, like a college recruiter?
Oh, I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
I think, but you got to win. You know, your team's got to win.
Yeah. But I mean, do you think you could like, you know, maybe go to like a lower end high school, but find that one player?
You'd like to think you could, couldn't you?
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I'd like to say yes.
Let me tell you, man, I remember we had the high school I went to, we had a baseball team that was legit. Like, that was what our school did. We had a kick-ass it was like the headmaster's project. Started recruiting boys.
That's awesome.
You know,
dude, if you're a headmaster,
you
know what? We're going to be state champs.
He was all about it. Like,
I like this guy.
Yeah, I liked him too.
Yeah.
He was a cool dude. Like, he was real honest too. Like, he had a vision for the school, and he was very upfront about it. He was like, we got to cut this. This is what we're aiming for. This is where we're going, you know?
I like it.
Yeah. But anyways, well, I remember going there, and, you know, like, so it was like 9th grade, and of course, like, the players are all 6'2", 6'3", and, you know, just like, they're all douchebags and stuff. I hate baseball people. But anyways, I remember recruiters coming. Like, the scouts would come to the games.
I don't like baseball.
Like minor league people, or no, maybe college people. I can't remember. But, like,
That's probably a little bit of both.
They were there.
Yeah.
And they were scouting them out, and I was like, whoa. Like, this is legit, you know? Like,
Hey,
we're not messing around here. Yeah.
I'll come to find them.
You know how I got to know? Because guess who the history teacher was? The baseball coach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And, oh, man, he was a great history teacher.
You know, in my high school, I think all my baseball coaches were history teachers.
That's what you do, man.
Or driver's ed.
Yeah, in America, they're all the history teacher, the government teacher, because that's the bullshit class, you know? Like, which I'm a history teacher, by the way. You know, I wrote a whole paper on this in college. Like, the coach history teacher stereotype. But do you know what I found, though? This is what was so funny. Like, I did a little research into it. You ask most high school kids what their favorite class is, they say
history.
With the coach. Like, they like the coach history, because you know what they usually do? They're just kind of like, you know, just fill this out. And here's the test, you know, just
dude, I loved history, yeah.
But more than that, they'll have cool little discussions, you know, where they'll just get off topic, you know, and talk about whatever.
There's something I want to say, is that we started out this, I believe it was on engineers.
Yeah, we're way off.
But it's amazing how fast we got off, because that's how little we really think about engineers.
Yeah.
I never think about an engineer.
They're not in our life anymore.
They're socially awkward, you know?
Yeah.
You just don't have one around consistently.
Yeah.
I don't mind them.
I don't mind them either.
Yeah.
I've learned to appreciate them.
Oh,
I really have.
necessary.
Yeah, but as far as, you know, a necessary element,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back on track. We'll move into something else, all
We were
right?
way off, brother.
All right. Worst place to grow up in the United States. Yeah, we thought about this because we had our initial answers, and then we thought about it a little bit more, because initially we were like, Mississippi, you know?
Mississippi's, if it's not the worst, it's definitely 49 or 48.
Yeah, but let me tell you, man,
It could be the worst.
like, what if you did grow up? Like, okay, so you think about, like, California, right? Everyone, beaches and mountains and ski. But what if you grew up in the most, like L.A. or San Francisco, pretentious, like, everybody's, like, perfect and beautiful, and, like, that is the only world you knew, this superficial, like, totally materialistic world?
San Francisco.
Oh, but, I mean, come on, man.
That
would affect, no.
I wouldn't want it.
No.
I mean, the way we've built it up, I'm sure some people will be like, oh, San Francisco's amazing, but nah, the reputation it's got, no, I don't want to live there.
I just, like,
No.
when I think about, like,
It might be pretty awful.
I've met a couple cats from California, you know? Like, I've met the people from the rural side, you know, where they're, like, out in the farms and stuff like that. And I've met some San Francisco people, a lot of gays from San Francisco. And let me tell you, man, there is a level of, like, smugness, like, of just, like, really being holier than thou that I've never experienced in any other gays. You know, like, it's like one of these things where they're very political. Like, they love talking politics, and if you disagree with them, they look at you like you're dirt, you know? Like,
Well, you are to them.
I guess so.
Yes.
You know? So that'd be a shitty thing to grow up with.
That's
you
a
know?
lot of vanity there, man.
Vanity. That's definitely the word. They got a lot of vanity.
It's a lot of it,
there.
man.
But I mean, like, it sucked to grow up. What about, like, Buffalo, New York? You know?
Well, yeah, maybe we're underestimating some country town up in the north. Yeah, that would be pretty fucking awful.
But you know what? I knew some cats who grew up in Syracuse, New York.
That's not a tiny little town though.
But man, it's beautiful. Like upstate New York, gorgeous. Like it's like beautiful, like little mountains, and it's like very country and like very pleasant and stuff like that. Like, some crazy winters, but still, like, you have like a kind of the best of both worlds. New York City's a couple hours away, but at the same time, you've got this beautiful nature to kind of, stretch your legs on and all that sort of stuff. Like, I had a buddy from New Hampshire. He loved it. Loved New Hampshire. He was like, it's the greatest state ever. He loved his state.
And most people love where they're from, man. You know what I mean? Man, they're proud of it in some way. It identifies them.
Alabama.
Fuck yeah.
Chris,
people
our
love
stepbrother,
being from
he
Alabama.
Loves Huntsville. The last time I went to see him, he took me on a tour of Huntsville. Like, it's like, this is the old neighborhood. These are the old historical houses. This is the firehouse here and all that.
He's
and
a firefighter. Like, what do you expect him to do? He drives around that town all day, man. He knows every little nook and cranny.
I mean, like, I was happy to do it. Don't get me wrong, but I was just like, brother, we can just hang out. We don't have to do this. Like, we can just, like, just hang out and have fun.
So that's the one difference I noticed about Chris from when he was a kid till now. When he was a kid, he was more laid back. Now he's a mover, constantly doing something. Rarely do I see him just sitting back.
Yeah.
Moves.
I mean, we've talked about this before. They're doers.
Doers,
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's just one way of living, We are inactive men. We're couch people. And I mean, ideally you want both, right?
Yeah.
You want to be able to, turn it off, relax, and then when it's time to do work, you do,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was our topic?
What was our topic? Worst places to grow up in the United States.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, anyway.
Do you know what, though? Can I honestly say, Alabama, not that bad.
In that town.
Huntsville?
In a town of engineers, it's a well put together, I think, for the most part.
I think Alabama, I tell you, man, I spent a month in a little town called Oneonta, Alabama. So we got some property out there, and, man, I like kind of fell in love with Alabama a little bit.
You were in a very beautiful part of Alabama.
I mean, I love those mountains, man. Like those little foothills and stuff. Like, it's pretty. It's very pretty.
It's very Alabama. It gives that vibe.
It feels different.
Feels different.
Feels very different.
I'm very aware of where I am.
Okay, this is going to be a weird question. Do you think Alabama has a smell?
Yeah, but when you say smell, it's not a bad smell.
No.
I wouldn't say it's...
No, it's a good smell.
There's a comfort to it.
You know what this is what it smells like to me.
Comfort to a smell.
Because I've thought about this a lot. It smells like freshly cut grass and gasoline. I know. That's such a weird thing to say, but I smell those two things. I start thinking about Alabama. I can't explain it. It's just like that's the smell, that combination. It's a Proustian moment. Like, it just sends me there, and I just start thinking about all that stuff,
That's not the answer I was expecting.
Nope, that's the one. I've thought about it a lot because I've literally been walking around and I smell those two things and I'm transported. Like, I'm just thinking about Alabama, man.
Maybe it's the case for me too. Maybe if I get a whiff of that, I'd probably remember.
I'd like this because just you remember on Oneonta, like putting gasoline into those little dirt bikes or the golf cart.
Sure.
And they're always mowing that grass.
It's a sport.
Our father, his new pastime is mowing grass. He loves it. Like Hank Hill, man.
Yeah, and he tries to transfer it to me. I'm like, get away from me.
Yeah, get away from me. You're the one who talks about how much you love it,
He fucking used to make me mow the fucking grass every weekend. It was fucking awful, bro. I learned to hate mowing the grass.
It's because that Mexican house had such strange, lawns.
Dude, so mowing the grass could be therapeutic. Like, I didn't mind doing it.
Yeah.
But, once or twice a month, not every fucking weekend. Every Saturday.
Every weekend?
Every week you got to mow that fucking shit.
No.
Yep.
I did it probably once a month, something like that,
Once or twice a month I'm down for it.
Yeah.
It's a little too much for me.
Because I had a house in Lubbock and, oh man, some memories coming back here, man. So like I
Are we talking about terrible places to live? I hope Lubbock's
Lubbock's
terrible.
pretty terrible. Let's just be honest. That's
West
the worst
Texas.
place. West Texas.
Actually, West Texas. If you ask someone you want to grow up in West Texas, be like, no,
Dude, there is a literal famous song, and the tagline, the chorus of it is, "Happiness is Lubbock, Texas in my rearview mirror." That is the literal chorus of the song.
That's a great song.
Oh man, it's awful. But anyways, so I was mowing this lawn, but I was kind of like getting into composting as when I had the garden in the back, and I was like a little wannabe hippie, and I got a push lawnmower. Like,
yeah, that's all I used.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Vic had a push. What? He didn't have a gas-powered mower?
No.
What?
What are you shocked for? Nobody had a gas-powered mower back then.
I'm not okay, so I'm talking about like there's no engine. You just push it.
Oh, no, there is. I thought you meant a riding one.
No, man. I'm talking about a literal it's powered by your push. It's like a little spinning blade.
Where did you find that?
Online. I was like I'm going to be all green and stuff like that.
Did it
it's
work?
better for the grass. It worked, but holy shit.
You had to do it back and forth, back and forth.
Let me tell you, man, that was so much harder. So much harder. Like, I had a little lawn, little tiny baby lawn. But that thing took me like a solid, hour to do. Like an hour. Just, and sweating, and it's like a whole workout. You're pushing that thing back and forth and stuff. And anyways, but I was like doing this for a while, and I was like, yeah, it's not bad. I'm all green and shit like that. And then Hal called me up, my uncle, and he's like, hey, I got a mower. I got an extra mower. He's like, I don't know what to do with it. If you want it, you can take it. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. One mow with that thing, and I was like, I'm never touching that pusher again.
Yeah.
It was like, it took me like 15 minutes.
Sold.
15. Oh, sold forever.
Sold.
Forever.
Yeah, I know.
That, I didn't know because I was ignorant, but oh man, that was a life changer for me, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Next topic.
Yeah, we need to.
We really got off
We
topic
got
there.
it. We got it. What is wrong with us, man? We got it.
I don't know. That's just how we roll with the Divine Brothers.
Topic 3.
European people, okay? The Dutch, the Germans, What do you think about European people, Chase?
They're not American.
That's for sure.
It's, I haven't hung out with too many lately, but each country's drastically different, I don't mind any of them. I don't mind them. They're just a little different. They're a little smarter and they know it. But then to me, socially, they're just a little bit they're too lost in the clouds with that shit, man.
I don't think
Very judgy.
I don't think it's the smarter thing, but I do think a lot of European people look at themselves as being more cultured.
Yes.
You know?
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
More culture.
Like
100%.
Like just a little bit more like I'm above you.
Just a tad, though.
Just a tad.
Just a tad. Just enough to feel it.
It's interesting, though, because one of the things we mentioned here is German people, you think about the efficient German, they are kind of robotic,
Mechanical, man.
Yeah, I've dealt with a couple Germans in my past, and just anytime, as teachers and stuff like that. And I'll be like, hey Hans, how's it going, man? What you doing? Oh, I'm just planning out my entire semester, making sure that everything is done just very orderly. I'm going to have the grading here and do this here, and you're just like, okay. You want to go have a beer, man? He's like, oh, yes, I'll be finished at 5:30 precisely. That sort of thing.
And this isn't bashing them either. This is just how that country's evolved.
It's a well-oiled machine.
It is a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Man. They get
you
shit done.
can see how they almost ruled the world. You
Yes.
know what I mean? You get that and you focus it, that could be terrifying,
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be highly efficient. And I've met a couple laid-back Germans, but they still have those traits. They still have the I'm going to work my ass off trait. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So
they're
it's
workers.
just embedded. Yeah, they're workers.
But
So I'll stay on a second more. Germans are my least favorite Europeans, though.
really?
Absolutely. And it's because the way I communicate, they don't get the sarcasm. It's harder for them. It's harder for me and them to joke.
Okay.
They just don't catch on. They're like, okay.
I guess,
The humor was just so, with our friend.
Yeah.
We had a German friend. And then for a long time, me and her, I couldn't gauge what was going to make her laugh.
Really?
I can't, if I can't gauge what you find funny,
Yeah.
I'm missing.
Interesting. So German's at the bottom of the ladder for you.
Because of that reason, because of the humor gap.
So
It was harder for me to find it.
So I have a shocking bottom of the ladder.
Italians.
Really?
Did I get it?
No.
Oh.
The English.
What?
I know. Okay,
No
so
way.
so like I have a deep fondness for Irish people, especially like Northern Ireland, because I knew some cats from Belfast. Like shout out to Luke and Paul, my brothers. I hope you're happy out there. But like I love those guys, man. We had some great times together. But and I have a lot of English friends because like you run into English, Americans and English people run in the same circles. But I fundamentally believe that English people like have a deep post-colonial melancholy. Like every English person I know like has a deep sadness to
All
them.
of them.
Yeah.
So, and what do they say? How do they?
They're super witty. They're hardcore drinkers. They're fun to hang out with and stuff. But you dig a little deep on them, and every time you see this vulnerability, like this deep vulnerability, like where you go, like even the most remember I was talking about that gay dude, Tom, the like super rice queen in Shanghai and stuff. Like, he was the most confident guy I've ever met. Like, unbelievable. One day we got drunk and stuff like that, and we started talking, and he was like, you like me, right? I was like, dude, yeah, of course. You're my brother. He's like, I think everybody hates me, and you're just like, really? I found that exact same sort of thing in everybody who I've met who's English and I've gotten deep with. Like, there's always this deep-seated, just like, the world hates me. The world hates me, And I think I genuinely think it's because of empire. Like, I think they grow up learning about how evil the English empire was, how they raped the world colonially, in terms of colonies and stuff like that. And there's this real sense of melancholy, like this sense of like, oh, we have to apologize for everything we've done.
You think historian is like a study of the kind of like the perception of the people at the times as well?
Oh my God, of course.
Yeah, that's kind of cool, isn't it?
Oh my God, yeah. Like, okay, like, so we're talking about German people and being efficient and stuff. They have a history of that.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Like that is how they roll,
all
man.
right. Before we get off on all these guys, why do you think the gap between the American and the European? Because they feel it too. Like when you're with them, it's a different energy,
Because Americans are the ones who took the risk, man. You came to America, you were taking a risk. You were the American you were the European who was just like, you know what, fuck this place. I'm going to America, baby.
It does have a little
American
rebel
dream.
mentality.
Hell yeah, it does.
Okay, let me ask you this: like in Australia,
revolutionaries, man.
In Australian and American, I feel like they correlate very easily.
I love Australians,
but I think they feel the same way for the most part about Americans.
Criminals.
It's an easy transition. Yeah,
just
like a bunch of criminals.
Hey, we'll make it work.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I think but that's a very real mentality, that rebel mentality. Like, I think I really do believe the most ignored part of history is the Revolutionary War. Like, the Revolutionary War was remarkable in every single way. Like, it's so worth studying because it shouldn't have happened. None of it should have happened, but you had these bold fucking men, like, who were just like, you know what? We could do this our own way. We could just create our own country. We could say fuck it to the Europeans. We could say fuck it to the empire. Every man could be a king. Every man could do whatever he wants on his property. Like, it was this totally radical vision, and they made it happen. That's what Americans are, man. That's why I'm proud to be an American. I really am. Because we got that in our blood, man.
Let me tell you, after living outside the country,
oh my God, yeah,
you just experience other cultures. You appreciate other cultures. And then you realize, hey, they do some shit well. They do a lot of shit fucked up.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got our issues, but man, I love American culture. I love what it exports, the personality, the social type. Like Americans, man, we usually do pretty well socially.
And you know what? I know people like Americans got a bad rap abroad, and that's because of the politics, But you ask people, like, what do you think about Americans? Oh, I hate their politics and blah, blah, blah. But then you're like, no, I'm asking, like, what do you think of American people? And they're like, I like Americans.
Yeah.
Like, we're fun. We're pretty
Fat.
charismatic, Yeah.
Talk a lot.
Jolly.
Not that bright. But it's all true.
Yeah. They say fat and loud. That's what they say. But, hey, fat and loud could be fun.
Good.
Ready for the next one?
Let's do it.
All right. So this one kind of feeds in. Sexy accents.
You know, rarely do women ask men what they find sexy in an accent.
Yeah.
So we should ask it to ourselves. My favorite, French, but a French brunette, just beautiful little brunette.
They have to be brunette.
But yeah, I got her in my head as a picture.
Interesting.
But she's speaking English with the French accent.
Oh,
You know?
cheers. How are you?
Jess, come over here and see me. I'm like, okay, all right.
Give me a cheers.
I love how they sound. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, it's so sexy.
There's something about it.
Something sexy about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
It's like puts you in a trance almost, man. Like you have to obey.
it's funny. I've found people they can get into a southern accent too. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I've
Yeah.
pulled out the Texas on a couple like guys in Asia and stuff, and they're just like, oh, I love your accent. It's so beautiful. I'd be like, yeah, that's right. You know, you like that, don't you?
He needs it up.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Man, if they detect I'm from the South, I'm always shocked. I'm like, how did you hear it?
Oh, people hear it in me all the time. I don't hear it myself.
Yeah,
I really don't.
don't.
Because I know those dudes who like they're saturated in that accent. You know? But no, I don't hear it in myself. But people say they hear it.
Yeah, people,
Where are you from?
Yeah.
You know.
actually, one of the comments I got from a buddy is like, at times I couldn't tell who was talking because you guys sound so similar.
I feel like our voices sound distinct. Like I feel like mine's a little deeper.
Man, I've heard recordings just of your voice when you sent that recording to Boat.
Yeah.
I was like,
He couldn't tell.
I was like, is that me or is that Dean? I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's Dean. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess so. You know.
Well, what do you find sexy, man? What do you like?
Well, I find that it's not necessarily the accent, but it's the tone of the voice. You know. So, for example, Chinese isn't exactly a sexy language.
God.
I know,
No.
but there's a buddy of mine in China, and another gay dude, and he speaks very softly. You know, so like this is a song lyric from China. You know, 我们一起说嘛叫一起喵喵喵喵喵. You know, like that's a song lyric. You know,
All right.
but he would say it like, you know, 我们一起说嘛叫一起喵喵喵.
Tone. Okay.
Like very soft spoken.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? And to me, that's very, I don't know, something about that just relaxes me, you know? Like, plus there's certain combinations. There are certain combinations that are just like the ultimate, like melt me, you know? If I'm like if I'm with somebody in bed and they're like whispering things to me and maybe gently stroking my balls, like it's one of the most like you know, just
Oh my God.
relax perfectly into it, you know.
Yeah, well, you know,
There are those magical combinations.
This sexy voice, yeah, soft spoken,
Oh yeah.
but with a French accent.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned to appreciate the Asian accents too. you know?
Hey man, there's some sexy little Asian accents too.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, like even like Frenchmen doesn't quite work because I've had a couple experiences with French guys, you know, and it's not quite the same as a woman.
No, it
you know?
doesn't. It's like, yeah,
You
man,
like that? You like that? Yes.
put some bass in that voice, boy.
Like
Come
that?
on.
It's very good, you know.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
My
I don't know
favorite
about
French
that.
guy that I met in Vietnam, the cool cat. I would have hung out with that guy more.
Yeah.
First thing he told me, he's like, yeah, I don't like French people.
Yeah.
And
the
I was
same with
like,
mine.
"Ah, I like you, man.
I was
Yeah.
friends with a guy named Matt in
He was
China.
cool as hell.
He was he was the worst HR person ever. He was horrible at his job, but he was honest about he was horrible at his job. You know, he was the sort of guy you come up, Matt, I was like, the government's like about to deport me. What do I do, man? But I don't know. Just see what you can do, you know? I can't really help you, sorry, you know, and stuff. But like you talk to him and stuff, and like he liked me. Because I'd talk to him and I'd talk shit to him. You know, be like, the school's such bullshit. He's like, no, it's a horrible place. I know, you know.
Yeah, maybe we need a French buddy. That'd be good.
He hated French people too. He was always like, these fucking idiots.
I would like to say that I don't hate French people. I do admire, I love their women. I've never dated one.
There's
Would love
there's something unique about French people.
Something unique.
For sure. Their history is fascinating. Really fascinating.
Different type of white, man.
Yeah, well,
That's a different type of white
very
there.
different. Continental.
Yes.
Right there, you know. It's hard to believe that like French people live right next to German people, you know?
A little bit, just a little bit, right? Or a whole lot.
They're very different.
Oh my God.
Totally different.
What the hell?
You know?
That's amazing.
Yeah. Next one.
Sure.
All right. Southern hospitality. All right. Manners, things like that. What do you think about Southern
I
hospitality?
think it was always there. And that could be different from other parts of the country, man. But South, there was a understood just kind of vibe that you needed to be respectful.
Absolutely.
If you came from an anyway halfway decent family, you were respectful.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Like,
ma'am. No,
yeah.
ma'am. Thank you
You-
very much. Much
you were
obliged.
trained.
All that shit.
I remember before, like, going over to anybody's house as a kid, like, mom just being like, you always say, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. You know, like, I remember when I was going to, I guess it was middle school. I remember the teacher, like, would insist. He's like, all boys must hold open the door for girls. It was insisted, you know? And, like, he'd yell at you if you didn't hold open the door
Jesus
for girls.
Christ.
Yeah, that was a Christian school right there.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean that's the manners part. But like that idea of like, you know, you come into somebody's home and they bring you like some iced tea, you know,
Yeah.
and or you know that there's a meal waiting for you and they're talking to you and you know you're having a great time.
Well,
some music,
or
you know?
or just engaging a stranger, like in the middle of town, or if you're standing in the same area. Hey, how are you doing today?
Absolutely, I
They will
love that
small
thing.
talk with you.
I love small
It's
talk.
easy. You can choose to go further if you want, and they don't over talk you, but they ask.
I've been trying to inject a lot more small talk into my life.
Yeah.
Cashiers, people on the street.
One of the best things about the South, and nobody talks about.
Oh, it's so great, man.
Yeah.
You know, I was so in that Oneonta town, that little Alabama town. I got a flat tire, you know, and I'd been driving. So I'm like, I was in my Uncle Hum's convertible, like an old BMW convertible, and I was loving it. Like I was just, that thing was down all the time. I was cruising around town, this little town of like 5,000 people.
Cruising around in the convertible.
Cruising around.
in the town of 5,000
yeah,
people.
exactly. Just cruising, going to Walmart.
What did
and
that chick
thing.
say? She's like, yeah, I know who you are.
Yeah, so I go into the tire store and I'm like, I got a flat tire. And she's like, oh, I've seen you around. You're that boy in the convertible. You know, I was like, yeah, that's me. We're over down there on Patton Road and stuff. And she's like, oh, I didn't know.
Does
That's wonderful.
Would that
you
make
know?
any sense to you?
But here's the thing. I got to finish the story,
Okay,
man.
okay,
Because,
yeah,
at the end, so I was like, how much is this going to cost? Because it's a BMW. And you're like, God, German car.
It's just a tire, though.
And she was just, she was like, oh, we got to use one. Don't worry, $25. I was like, thank you. And she's like, I got you. Don't worry. You know, and you're just like, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's that sort of thing where you're like, you're not trying to fuck me over. You know, you see that I'm just some local
She
kid.
gave you the local discount.
She gave me the local discount.
What would that do if you're in a small little town of 5,000 people, and then all of a sudden you see this kid driving around in this old BMW convertible?
I'll tell you what happens.
What the fuck?
You got something to talk about.
Yeah, you got something to talk
You
about.
got something to talk
Who is
about,
this
man.
debonair to come
Oh,
to
man.
our town?
I got to know people in that town, man. Did you go to that, not the gym in the town, but the other gym, the 24-hour one?
No.
So okay, this town had a gym. It was a really good gym.
It's a great gym. It had a pool.
It had a pool. It
Basketball
was
court.
big basketball
Track.
court, track, like
incredible.
an amazing gym in this town, like really good. But there's another gym, and like I didn't want to go to that gym because I got in trouble because I may have been using somebody's card. You know, LaDonna gave me this card, and this woman comes up to me. She's like, "Excuse me, who are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm just here. I was using my friend's card." And they're like, "Yeah, we noticed when you're not a 70-year-old woman." You know, and stuff. And I was like, oh, sorry. She's like, it's all right. Just, you know, can you pay? And I was like, okay, I'll think about it. And then like,
Think about it?
Well, I was like, I'll come back, you know, but there's another gym in town that just opened and it's totally different. Like it's just weights and stuff, but it's right in the middle of town. And the cool thing about it is they give you a key.
Oh, cool.
And so you can just come anytime, like anytime you want, 24/7.
That is, some people like that.
It's pretty cool.
I had that once in my life at a gym, and I utilized it. I remember just nights where I'm like, you know what? I'm not tired. I'm upset or I can't sleep. I'm going to the fucking gym. And there was always like one other guy in there, one or two other people.
Yeah.
You know, coming at 2 or 3 in the morning.
I miss it, man. I miss having a gym. I really do. Like I've been doing stuff like here at the house, like push-ups and little squats and things like that. But I miss having a place to go, you know?
Gym's so important, man.
Yeah.
God, it's such a great escape.
Absolutely.
Love the gym.
You know, I mean, and I'm pissed off about the coronavirus because I had a great routine in China.
Yeah.
Like I would finish my workday and I would ride my bike. And it was about a 2-mile bike ride to the gym. and I had a great bike. Oh, I missed that bike. It was so good. And I would go to the gym, and I'd be there for like 2 hours, like a long time, because I would just kind of, do some cardio and like take my time, do a shower, like a big full routine. And I'd come home and I'd sleep. It was just a great little end of the day sort of thing.
I love so my favorite gym routine, since we're so fucking far off topic. My favorite gym. What was the main topic, by the way?
What was our main topic? Southern hospitality.
Oh, yeah. This correlates. My favorite gym routine was in fucking this tiny little town I was living in on the beach in Thailand.
Yeah.
They built this fucking unbelievable semi-pro tennis place. So professional tournaments came in all the time. I got to watch that.
Yeah.
But they had a gym upstairs, and the gym overlooked the mountains in this valley.
Yeah.
It was fucking beautiful. But they had a pool on top, and nobody ever swam.
Yeah.
I'd go and I would swim. I'd finish and look at these beautiful mountains in the sun setting. I'd go downstairs. I'd do a little weights, and I'd run, and I'd go home on my little motorbike through the little neighborhood. I didn't even go on the main road. I went to these tiny little neighborhoods. It was a great ride.
Man, I miss having a pool. So great.
Well, I miss that routine. It's
Yeah.
just a beautiful. I was in amazing shape, too. I wish I could swim more.
Yeah, man. Swimming's the total body experience.
Which you can here. They have, the good thing that Hawaii does, man. Pools are free. Public pools are free.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, man. Nice pools, too. Go in anytime you want.
Yeah.
It's kick-ass.
Well, not till April 30th.
All right, what's the next topic?
Next topic. Celebrity sponsorship.
Oh, yay, that's good. That is good. God, that's good.
Yeah. So basically, if you were a celebrity, Chase, what would you sponsor?
I don't know, man. Who would you sponsor?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'd have to think about it. But in terms of the ultimate celebrity endorsement, okay, in my opinion, the greatest celebrity endorsement ever was Troy Polamalu, Head and Shoulders. Polamalu, whatever. The dude with the big-ass Polynesian hair. Looks like Maui from the, Disney movie or
He was
whatever.
born to sponsor that product.
Oh, my God. They were the greatest. They did him perfectly, too. The commercials. He'd be there, after the game, some little reporter girl was like, Troy, you had an amazing game. Tell us about what your strategy was out there. How did you do it? Puts over the mic and just like, I'd just like to thank Head and Shoulders for making my hair silky, smooth, and beautiful to look at. That's not what I asked. What about the game and all that? I use Head and Shoulders every single day.
What can you?
This is what I do.
First off, it's like,
Yes.
I'm just now thinking about this, but how do you think he washes that shit, man? I mean, you think he has someone do it for him? He would have to. And how many times do you wash it? I
had a buddy who had really long, dirty hippie hair. He looked like he was from Leonard Skinner.
Okay, yeah.
And he told me it took a lot of shampoo. He's like, you can't just use a dollop. You got to use a lot of shampoo.
Well, how often are you washing it, too?
Well, so how often do you wash your hair?
Look at my hair. No, man.
I mean, if you had hair, how often would you wash it?
I don't want to say. How often do you wash yours?
I do it every day.
Okay, no, I don't do mine every day.
See, and the thing is, I've been told over and over, don't do that.
Yeah.
But I remember I started adopting that advice when I was in high school, and Mom used to scream at me don't you have to wash your hair? It gets greasy and awful. And I'm just like, oh, Jesus. So I just kept doing it, but I got to hang on to what hair I got, make it look as thick as possible. So, I use some of that thickening stuff, and that's what I depend on. Yeah.
What was the topic?
Sponsorships.
Oh, yeah. God. Troy Polamalu was pretty awesome. That is a great example.
What about, the Michael Jordan doing Hanes,
I think anything you give Mike, he's going to sell.
Right?
Yeah.
It's Michael Jordan.
It's Mike, man.
Do you think that LeBron has replaced Michael Jordan?
No.
Why not?
Not to that level.
Why not?
He's not as good. And
what?
His personality's not as good either.
Really? Well, I mean, I don't really remember Michael Jordan's personality.
Jordan. This is something we should talk about. There's only 2 athletes I've ever seen in my life that radiated confidence to the point where you're like, that guy's the best. You can't beat that guy right now.
I have a guess who the second one is.
Michael Jordan gave those vibes. Every single word he spoke was just radiating with confidence. Yeah, I'm the best. We're going to win. He didn't say that, but you could feel it. With LeBron, it's much more unsure. He is the biggest, the strongest. And he's getting better with age, but he is not. He would rather pass sometimes than take on somebody.
The thing, I hate LeBron James.
Yeah.
You know why, though?
He's a pushover. I don't know.
That China shit.
Oh,
That was the one where I was like, I'm done with you. I'm like, I'm not a big basketball fan anyways,
yeah, I
but
could care less.
but
too.
like after the China thing, I was just like, you're just controlled. You don't have an independent thought in your mind. You do what you're told to do, you know?
Ooh,
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you know, because you remember the China shit where, you know, the NBA got in trouble because they were supporting, like they said, oh, we support Hong Kong. And China was like, no NBA. You know, and they were like, oh, we're sorry. And LeBron gives this like clearly written by an attorney answer where he's like, well, I think we should have a more nuanced perspective and understand that there are two sides to this equation. And everybody was just like, boo. You know, like,
I
come
don't even
on.
know if he said that.
Oh, yeah. It was this like, it was like, he didn't say it. He wrote it out,
Listen.
which of course, like he didn't write or anything.
Right.
Like that.
Jordan radiated that shit. But you
Yeah.
know who the other person was?
Tiger Woods.
That's right.
Yeah.
Tiger.
We talked about this before.
You watch Tiger walk down a fairway, and you're like, God, that guy's the best.
It's pretty great.
Who is that guy? I've never seen him. He's the champ, right? Yeah, that's the champ.
I'll be honest. I feel like Khabib has that confidence.
The tragedy of Tiger Woods is what he was banging. What porn stars, chicks? How many? He must have had 10 of them lined up, but it was working for him. It was like he was the best. He was winning. He was going to break every record. That's just the way Tiger rolled, you know?
What exactly happened with him?
He got caught. He was married with kids, and he got caught with like banging 8, 9 chicks on a rotation, porn stars.
I mean,
But
kept it a secret from
Yes.
his wife?
Yes.
Why lie? Like, I mean, like, you're Tiger Woods. I would just say, listen. Like,
Is he
hey,
lying? He didn't,
you're
nobody
my-
asked him.
Yeah, but I mean, like, to your wife, you know? Like, just say, like, listen, you're my number one. But I'm the greatest in the world. And
Did you not know about this? You know how it ended?
I don't really remember. I remember it was a huge news story for a while.
No. It ended with his wife beating him with a fucking baseball. I mean,
What?
a golf club. Hit him in the mouth.
Did he lose teeth?
Yeah, I think so.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's when it all came in. They're like, yeah, he was on pills. She hit him in the mouth with the fucking
How did
golf
it all
club.
end? Like,
Divorce.
did the divorce? But did she get like a huge settlement?
You know, you want to know how it ended?
Oh,
He lost it. He lost his mojo.
oh.
He never got it back.
He never quite got better.
No, he was never the same.
Wow.
It was devastating to see. I have no idea what we were talking about before, but Jordan and fucking Tiger
Celebrity endorsements.
all day.
Yeah.
What would you do if you had a product?
Well, I mean, I have to think about it a lot. I mean, but I think I would do something a little obscure, you know?
Like what?
I don't know. Like, maybe I would do something like, maybe some kind of food or something like that, you know? Like, just be like bagel bites, you know? Like, yeah. Totino's pizza rolls, you know?
You know, like,
Like, be that guy.
I've always said it from a kid, and I don't think it's realistic, but I would do a Hellman's real mayonnaise. I've always liked mayonnaise on my sandwich, but the real reason I fucking hate Miracle Whip. Like, I've had a couple times where people are like, oh, I'll get you a sandwich. And I was like, that shit is no miracle. It's terrible.
Doesn't taste the same.
It's not comparable, man. Yeah, immediately. So I would do it just to try to put them out of business.
I remember you saying how you would do it. You said, what I would do is the camera would be on me. Have a huge jar of Hellman's mayonnaise with a big spoon and go,
No, that was a joke,
you know,
man.
just
I
like,
couldn't do
terrifying. Oh, my God.
Some people couldn't take that, yeah. But I could see you as a bagel bites guy.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's like bagel bites, baby.
Yeah.
You know?
I got work to do today, but I'm not going to. Chilling on the couch.
Yeah. I have to give that one some thought. I'll
That's
come
a
up
good
with
one,
something
man.
that's good.
I would do Pop-Tarts.
Oh,
Love
yeah.
Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts, man.
Toaster strudel.
You love toaster strudel.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that's your thing, man.
It's fun.
You bought some of those the other day. They were gone.
I haven't bought those in years, man.
Yeah. You had to get your bad diet shit out. You had to I gotta get this back into me.
That's it. Could have been the last time with this Corona.
Could be. Yeah.
Had to get me some of that stuff.
One last topic.
Sure.
All right.
What's our time, man?
59 minutes. You know. Oh man, we have a lot left too.
Yeah, I know. We're fucking off, and God knows where for most of these conversations.
Boy, I'm trying to see which one. I guess I'll just go to the next one. If Quentin Tarantino was going to do a Bible story, Which one would he pick?
That's a great fucking question. God, why can't reporters ask Trump questions like that? That's what I want to see.
What? How would Trump answer that?
I don't know. I'd love to know.
Oh,
But okay. Well, we were talking about Samson. You know?
yeah, you were thinking
Could be,
because we were
but-
talking Troy Polamalu. That's why.
Yeah, go the long hair, right? It gives him power. Yeah, but Samson would be cool. Where he goes around and strongest man in the world. But I'm sure there's other cooler stories.
I mean, I think it'd be pretty cool for him to. You remember when Mel Gibson did The Passion of the Christ?
Yeah.
Like everybody goes and watch that movie's like forgotten now. You know, it was the biggest deal in the world for a while. But it'd be interesting to see Tarantino do The Passion.
God, wouldn't it be interesting to have something a serious historical event with Tarantino's touch?
Yeah,
It'd be incredible.
well, I mean, he kind of has. That's what he does, right?
Yeah,
like
this is
with
what he
Inglourious
does.
Bastards and
Historical
Once Upon a
fiction.
Time in Hollywood. You know,
He does add a little bit of, yeah.
I mean, what I was thinking about was Daniel from the Bible. You know, like I find Daniel like fascinating. First of all, do you remember how Daniel ends up in the lion's den? Like, what's he doing there? Why is he there in the lion's den? Exactly. Nobody remembers, you know, but he's there. He's there in the lion's den. You know,
Hey, why is he there?
I don't remember, but he's
you
like,
can't remember either?
it's like Babylon.
Didn't he have
you know?
like a jacket?
No, you're thinking of Joseph in his coat of many colors.
Oh, sorry.
Man, Chase, we got to brush you up on your Christianity.
Yeah. I was just checking you. You're on
yeah,
point.
of course.
Good job.
That's like when the Jews were, you know, in Babylon, they were in captivity, and Daniel was one of the, I guess, prophets or whatever. But like, there's some interesting stuff in there because like Nebuchadnezzar is the king, and he gets like cursed to like graze the fields as an animal, and he's like eating grass and stuff like that, and like hands appear on the wall, like drawing weird symbols and stuff like that, like just crazy stuff from the Bible, you know. Elijah, you remember Elijah? Like he's got some crazy moments, man. Like where like some kids are making fun of him, and he calls out a bear from the wilderness to eat them. You know? Yeah.
And the bear eats him?
Yeah, the bear
These are
eats
good
the children.
stories. They should have told me about those in Sunday school. I probably still would have went.
Let me tell you, man. Our grandmother's funeral, I gave a eulogy, and I used some Elijah, a verse. I think it's maybe like 1st or 2nd Kings, something like that. But Elijah's the one where he's out in the wilderness, and there's a mighty tornado, like this crazy tornado, and it goes. God was not in the tornado, you know, and then this huge firestorm comes, and it's like God was not in the firestorm, and then like this crazy thunderstorm comes, and God was not in the firestorm, and then it says, and then there was a whisper, and that's it.
Firestorm?
Yeah,
A whisper?
like that. Like then after all of that, there's like a little whisper. Dude,
What did it, nobody knows what it said?
Yeah, no, it doesn't say. It just says. It doesn't even say that it was God. It just said. It says all this epic stuff, and it was God. It was God. But in the end, it's just like, there was a whisper.
That's a writer right there.
Oh, yeah, man.
That's
What about Job? You know? You remember Job?
dude, we can't let Tarantino do that. That would be just too much. It'd be too much violence.
It'd be a lot.
Too much violence, man.
Man. Like, but I mean, like, did you know Job was the first book ever written in the Bible? That was before anything else, Job.
Before Genesis?
Yeah. Yeah, Moses wrote Genesis. Moses wrote the Septuagint, those first 5 books. Can you tell I was educated in a Christian school? Like,
Yeah, this is all news to me.
Job, like it's the oldest book in the Bible. And like, but I mean, think about like, what's the lesson of Job? You know, like,
It's just like when
why does horrible shit happen to good people?
That's a good one to put in there. Be like, just in case someone's life's really fucked. Let's just tell this horrific story about.
But
this
I
guy.
mean, like, it really is. And I mean, think about the story too. I mean, like, it's literally like God and the devil are hanging out, and you know, God's like, "Hey, you seen Job? Pretty cool, right?" And the devil's like, "You bless him. He's rich. He's got kids. He's got like nothing but money and happiness and wealth." He's like, "All right, take away the wealth. Take away the family."
Actually, maybe that would be a good Tarantino movie.
Right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Actually, yeah, I
And
changed my mind.
And he does, you know, and then like he's like, "Oh, he still hasn't cursed me," and blah blah blah. But the other cool thing about that book is like that section that everybody knows is like 1 chapter, and then it's 40 chapters of Job like sitting there covered in boils talking to his friends, like his friends who come and they're literally all just talking about like what's happened, and one of them's like, "Well, clearly you've offended God." Another one's just like, maybe God's punishing you for something, and then the other one's like, I don't know, can we understand the will of God? You know, and like it's a whole philosophical discussion.
Dude, that sounds fascinating.
It's an interesting book. Like it's difficult to read because it's so tedious and long, but it's a damn good book.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you've intrigued me to change my mind on it. I'd like to see him do the movie, like I said.
Quentin Tarantino.
Good job.
Job.
Sell it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a mind blower? Be like, did he just say Job or does that say job?
Are they? Yeah, right.
They're gonna
right.
be like Job.
That's the
Tarantino.
Job. What is Job? I don't know.
Yeah.
What had they like hinted what his next film's going to be?
No idea.
Somehow I heard like Star Trek or something like that.
Maybe that was us high.
Maybe.
Yeah. No, I think that might be true. Oh my God, that would be amazing too.
I can't. I have no idea how you would do that. Like
Star Wars or something like that.
But I do know this. That Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, that was a high note for him.
It's a good movie, bro.
Like that was a home run.
That was a comeback hit.
Yeah. So whatever he's gonna do next, I'm impressed.
All right.
That's it.
That's it, my man.
All right, guys. That's it. On a mission from God.
On a mission
leave you
from
with that.
God.
Next time, we'll see you around. Bye bye.